question for who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Hold up and welcome back to TC Talk Sports. If you haven't heard already, if you haven't watched my past 4 or 5 videos, the Chargers clinched a playoff berth. That was last week. This week, thank you to the Pittsburgh Steelers and a great matchup versus a horrible, horrible Las Vegas Raiders team. The Chargers locked up the 5th seed for the playoffs. Now, that might not seem like a big deal difference between the 5th seed and the 6th seed, but thanks to another embarrassing loss for the Steelers against the Bengals and an easy, dominant victory versus the Raiders on Sunday, the Chargers now face the Texans in the first round of the playoffs rather than the Ravens. Obviously, in my opinion, I would 100% rather play the Houston Texans, especially by the way that they've been playing the past month or so. The Ravens, I think, are a top-tier team. The Texans down here, so couldn't be happier of how the last week of the season went, being a Chargers fan. I'm not going to get too much into it, but Steelers fans, I mean, they should be worried because the team is not looking very good at all. But matching up against the Ravens, I don't think is horrible for them. Obviously, very familiar with them, Tomlin and Harbaugh. They play twice a year. Lamar Jackson sucks ass every time he plays the Steelers. So honestly, they might have a better chance against them, but I'm not going to get too in deep about that. Plus, I hate the Steelers, so I just hope they lose by 40 and just get it over with. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the Chargers game on Sunday versus the Raiders because locally on CBS they decided to air the Chiefs versus the Broncos. We all know how that one went, just a waste of time, and I doubt people even actually watched it. I watched it up till 21-0 and then turned it off and started watching Love Island Australia, so that shows how awful that game was. In this video, I'm going to be doing another classic reaction video, watching the highlights from this game. Chargers versus Raiders game highlights, 13 minutes long, week 18. Let's go. I also tried to stay off Twitter as much as I could. Of course, I had to watch the post-game locker room with Harbaugh. The only clips I did see was the beginning of Justin Herbert's long run, but I quickly swiped away because I knew I wanted to make this video, so I didn't watch it. And the 2-point conversion to Ladd McConkey, just because the stadium went nuts. Chargers have no fans. They go into Vegas. Place erupts after that 2-point conversion. So really, I'm going into this blind. Again, Raiders suck. Chargers, I think this was a must-win game for them. They play Saturday in the wild card game versus the Texans. It is in Houston, but I don't think that matters as much. Coming into this year, people were saying C.J. Stroud had a better rookie year than Justin Herbert, which is complete blasphemy, and saying that he was already better than Justin Herbert on rankings that people made. People didn't think Herbert was top 5 or elite coming into this year. He has proved every single one of those people wrong. He had over 500 pass attempts, 3 interceptions this year. Fantastic year. Herbert's elite. He's top 5. You can't argue with that. Anyway, sorry for ranting. Let's get into the actual video. I'm going to be happy doing this. Might get a little upset on some missed tackles, or apparently Jacoby Myers went off as well. But let's just see what happened. Quentin Johnston, hell of a game too, I know that. Herbert, big play, there he is. To start off the game like that with Quentin Johnston, that just set him up for the huge game that he had. J.K. Dobbins, I know he was 80 yards away from a player incentive, which was the talk of the town. This week, Mike Evans got over 1,000 yards for the, 11th straight year or whatever it is. Not too sure if I'm a big fan of Buccaneers going out there with 20 seconds left and throwing him the ball. Comment below if you like that decision by the Buccaneers, if you don't really care about it, if you absolutely hated it. I hate Mike Evans, but what he's doing has been crazy, even though some of those 1,000-yard seasons have been 1,004, 1,005 yards. This year, they forced 13 targets to him in that game. So let me know in the comments what you thought about that last play by the Buccaneers, ensuring that Mike Evans got that incentive. Back to the Chargers. 3rd and 4, 6 minutes left in the first. Pressure. Sacked. I did see that on the Gamecast. They were in field goal range, got backed up. There was a penalty to set up this 51-yarder that Dicker missed. That's fine, Dick. That's fine. Get him out. Get the misses out of the way before the playoffs start. He's a Pro Bowl snub, and I think we're going to see that going into the playoffs. He's one of the best players on the team. Jacoby Myers, apparently Christian Fulton did not have a good game again. I still don't like seeing this, even though I know the Chargers won. O'Connell up top. Early I had those funny guys from T-Mobile, but O'Connell just missing Brock Bowers there for a touchdown. I mean, Bowers, what a season, obviously, for him. He played extremely well. 4th down. Raiders, Daniel Carlson. He's also a really good kicker, just on a terrible team, unfortunately. But him and A.J. Cool, their punter, great special teams unit they got there. Chargers down 3. How do they respond? A laser to Ladd. He's so good. Ladd McConkey's the best rookie receiver from this draft class. I think he had nearly 100 yards this game again. Look at that. Small little guy breaking out of tackles between 2 guys. I mean, he is so good. Redemption here for Cameron Dicker. 33 yards, right down the middle. After a miss, that's what you need. A nice, easy field goal. Get your mind back in the game, which I don't think he has a problem with because he's a stud. 3-3, end of the first quarter. Jeez, dude. Whoever that receiver was on the outside, that was a good block. Loey Gilman returned in this game also. That's good to see. Get him some reps before the playoffs. Big pass, Jacoby Myers. O'Connell, end zone. I mean, I hope they show a replay of that. He was just wide open, O'Connell, just dropping it in there for him. Here we go. Oh, he bit too hard. Let's see if that was even. I mean, Derwin was in that area, but he was following Brock Bowers. Yeah, I mean, he just bit too hard. That's a great route. That's my favorite route, I think. Just either stop like you're going for a short pass or fake cut to the middle, and then you're going deep. Good play. Down 10-3, beginning of the second quarter. Herbert, dot, Quentin Johnston, big hit, but another big grab. He had like 13 catches, 138 yards, I think was the exact number. 2nd and 10, 10-3, Quentin Johnston. And that's a solid grab, an 8-yard pickup in the red zone. Oh yeah, they got a sack and a penalty or something. 3rd and goal from the Raiders' 23-yard line. I mean, that's just, I remember seeing this, and I was not a happy fella. I forget what happens here. Screen, Dobbins. No Rashawn Slater also in this game. Joe Alt moved to left tackle. And Trey Pipkins, who, if you're a Chargers fan, you know we're not a big fan of. Started at right tackle. Dicker. 10-6, 5.5 minutes to go. This is where it gets interesting in this game. So 4 minutes to go, 3rd and 7. I believe it's a big stop here. Bowers looked like he didn't catch that. I don't know. Either way, Chargers take over. Here we go. Chargers down 10-6, 3:50 to go before halftime. Chargers get the ball to start the second quarter. If you watch any of my past videos, you know how big I am on scoring before the half, even if you don't get the ball to start the second half. But especially if you get the ball to start the second half, score before halftime, and then score on that first drive after halftime, and you're sitting pretty. Chargers starting deep in their own zone, 17-yard line, 4 minutes to go. Let's watch elite quarterback Justin Herbert work some magic. First play, I assume, of the drive. Good pass to QJ. Holds on to it. That's good. Last video, I told him to catch the ball, play like the number 1 wide receiver, and he had a fantastic game on Sunday. Herbert, little pump fake. Will Dissly on a 3rd down. It's a big pickup. Clock just continuing to run. This is where the Chargers have been so good this year, using that clock to not allow the other team to touch the ball. Herbert, pump fake, effortless, dude. His throwing is just so effortless. McConkey obviously is going to hold on to that one. You let this go down to the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 from the 34. Quentin Johnston, a little bit of a bobble. I'm okay with him not getting out of bounds there. Still a minute 55 to go. Try to burn a little bit more of that clock. I think that's the play where I saw on Twitter people telling him to get out of bounds. I mean, you're on the Raiders' 35-yard line. Plenty of time. I agree with that decision to stay in bounds. But let's just see how the rest of the drive ends up. Yeah, Broncos 21-0 before halftime. That game was awful. Minute 10, Herbert, not a great throw. McConkey looking for a flag. It's okay, lad. It's okay. Oh yeah, 4th and 8. They did get a field goal. 4th and 8, a little deeper. 49. Now we're backing up a little bit, boosting the confidence. Oh, I didn't know it was that close. Oh, I didn't know it was that close to not going in. But either way, Chargers make it 10-9. Minute left to go before halftime, and I want to see this. I know it was Dayan Henley, first career interception, but I didn't see what it looked like. If you've watched any of my other past Chargers videos, you know how high I've been on Dayan Henley this season. I think he also got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. He's like 5th in the league in tackles, and he's just been a monster for the Chargers this year. 2nd and 5, 44 seconds to go. Oh, that's just a horrible throw. I thought it was going to be like tipped or something, but he kind of just lobbed. I got to go back. He kind of just lobbed it right to him. Under some pressure, though. Pressuring the quarterbacks, always beneficial. Joey Bosa. Oh, it might have got tipped. They didn't show the replay, but either way, linebacker, that's good hands from him. 30 seconds to go in the half. Chargers down 1. I believe this is Mr. DJ Chark, who I thought would be wide receiver 1 coming into the season after they signed him. That's not the case. He's very far from that. But I also didn't see a video of this, so let's see what it looks like. 30 seconds to go. No timeouts. Quentin Johnston got it, secured it, down towards the 5. Good clock management again. 2nd and goal. I guess they spiked it on that. Herbert. Oh. I was expecting a laser over the middle there. That's good. I love that. I mean, that's a good spot. You throw it any more inside, 18 there for Vegas is going to either deflect it or pick it off, put it on the outside. I did bet Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns. 2-point conversion. This one was nuts. Listen to that crowd eruption. 2-point attempt to go up by 7 before half. They didn't show a replay, but I assume Ladd started out on the left, and as Herbert scrambled to his right, Ladd just followed. Bless you. Thank you. You're welcome. I assume Ladd was lined up on the left and just ran across the end zone as Herbert was scrambling to his right. I mean, 2-point conversion, you can just throw it up, but Ladd was open, so why not just throw a laser to him? Going to the half, up 17-10. Bolts get the ball to start the second half. I forget who scored, but I know they do. Conkey moved to the inside. Good block by Disley. Disley's been one of the most underrated players. I'm not going to say in the league, but definitely for this team this year. He's having a really good year. Herbert, look at that. Show a replay of that. In between 2 guys. I know they're not, because they're not going to appreciate it the way I do. 2 Raiders players. Watch the 2 black jerseys. I mean, you got to have a rocket of an arm. Didn't seem like he threw it too hard there, but you have to be confident and have a really strong arm to make that throw. Obviously, elite Justin Herbert has that. Good catch by Disley, too. Dobbins breaking out of a tackle. When he's healthy, man, he's really good. I mean, we saw it with the Ravens, just unfortunately way too many injuries. We're seeing it this year again. Screen to Johnston. Alt could have blocked a little better there. But we get the 3rd and goal. Handoff, Dobbins. Oh. Forces a 4th and goal. Oh, I thought they scored a touchdown. Whatever, still. Field goal, Dicker getting the confidence back. That's all you can ask for. 20-10, halfway through the 3rd quarter. That was the first possession of the 3rd quarter. It took up half of the quarter. There's only 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd. Chargers now up by 10. I said this in the last video. I don't know if I love it or I'm worried for the Chargers, but it just seems like their drives take forever, like 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. If they end in points, that's great. Obviously, I want touchdowns. I mean, the team wants touchdowns, obviously. But if they have that, like say that drive took 8 minutes, 4th down, they go for it and don't make it. I'm always a fan of backing the other team up inside their own 1, so that might have been okay. But it would have been 17-10. You use all that time. You don't score. Raiders come down and score. It's probably the end of the third quarter. Tie game. I'm rambling about that, but I know people need to pay attention to that as we head into the playoffs because ball control is very important, but if you don't score, then it doesn't mean much. Let's see how the Raiders respond. Their first possession of the second half. Under pressure, Khalil Mack. Get him. Get him. He's able to scramble, but Mack still staying with them. I didn't look up Brock Bowers' stats, but from what I know, Derwin James was covering him. I don't know if that's true or not completely, but we've seen Derwin James lock up Travis Kelce, so it wouldn't surprise me if he locked up Brock Bowers. He was blitzing there, so that was not his fault, but Bowers just sitting in the middle of the defense. That was an absurd stat line by Bo Nix there at the bottom. 3rd and 10, just, 4-down territory maybe with that play call. It was a 5-yard, just kidding. 47-yard field goal for Carlson. 20-13, that was a good tackle by Tarheeb Still, I think, on that one. Just a little crossing route, not a lot of space. 3rd and 5 for the Chargers, up 7. Slings it to Johnston again. This was the Quentin Johnston breakout game. If this just elevates him into a true wide receiver 1, even at this point, I'll be happy with that. McConkey can be number 2, even though he's better. Here it is. Herbert chugging along. Oh, he was that close to scoring. 49 was on his ass. If we don't get a replay, got it. Yeah. There's also on Twitter, the picture of the wine aisle in a store that says exciting whites, and anytime someone says Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey, I love it. That's hilarious. I did see the picture I'm going to pop it up, but the picture of Justin Herbert when he was running on this play. Big smile on his face. It looked like some movie poster or something with someone running and a crowd in the background or something, but when he was moving, he was loving it. Watch this again. Pretty good protection. He just moved up in the pocket. See ya, Bobby Spillane, 49, whoever that is for the Raiders. Snowden. I think that's what they said. That's a huge run. Look at the boy smiling. 2nd and goal. Oh, he could have went. Yeah, I don't know if it was supposed to go to Tucker Fisk. Disley gave him the ball to spike it. This team, man, they're just having fun. They love playing for each other, which I'm pretty sure was not the case last year. At least by the end of the year, this team was done. Everybody's body language was bad, and it didn't help that their coach, I feel like, didn't motivate them at all. But right there is just a prime example of how far this team has come. Tucker Fisk, let's see, might have been the one that get the ball. They were both wide open. Fisk got bumped a little bit. Disley, here you go. Spike that. Up 14. At this point, I was feeling confident when I got this score alert. Jacoby Myers, that's a problem, though. They need to fix that. Obviously, Nico Collins, one of the best wide receivers in the league. I think if the Chargers get enough pressure on C.J. Stroud throughout the whole game, throwing the ball is not going to be a problem. That tackle right there, not that one. Henley laying the boom. But that first missed tackle there, those are things that need to be fixed in the playoffs. 4th and 10. Is that a pick? I don't think that's officially a pick, but yeah, incomplete. Derwin, of course, stepping up, making the play. I don't need to rewind that. Definitely at this point, up 10, get the ball back. Oh my God, that's not a catch that Johnston ever makes. Oh, perfect throw. No replay, come on. That's a perfect throw there. Literally an inch further or closer. That's incomplete. Oh my God. Quentin, he must have watched my last video, heard me call him out. Huge game for him. Look at that Herbert stat line, 338, 2 touchdowns, only 8 incompletions. Keep feeding the monster, Quentin Johnston. Oh, man. He got a game ball after the game, rightfully so. Hassan Haskins, I think he scores some point. Maybe, I don't know. That's a big run from him if they can get multiple running backs involved also. 3rd and goal, Haskins in again. Lead the way, Scott Matlock. I know they're not going to show a replay of that. Appreciate it. 44, lined up as fullback. Watch. Boom. On 7 there. Gets Haskins into the end zone. I mean, a lot of people are probably not talking about that, but that was absolutely huge, and that is Jim Harbaugh. Oh, there it is. Nice. Good job, announcers. That's Jim Harbaugh football. You bring in the big boys, run it right down their throats. Time of possession, crazy. 4th and 7. Scrambles. Oh, my. I don't think that's a pick, but that was a good catch. Even be able to get your hands on that. Trey Tucker. Yeah, so they gave it to the Raiders. Myers. Both of those need to be tackles. Need to clean that up for the playoffs, I'm telling you. O'Connell. Oh, whoever that was. Oh, he did score? I don't recall. Who was that? Still, oh, he was going for a house call on that one. I mean, that's whatever. Just improve Bauer's rookie numbers. Kneel down for the 5th seed. Absolutely beautiful game from the Chargers versus the Raiders. Devontae Adams, beginning of the year, got upset about some posts on Twitter about them being compared to Pop-Tarts. He's not even on the team anymore. Chargers sweep the Raiders this season. They suck. Number 2 in the division. 5th seed in the playoffs, going to Houston. Derwin James tweeted, "See you in H-Town." I mean, I hope fans travel there. Playing indoors, not that that really matters too much, but Justin Herbert, obviously it's better throwing conditions. He had a hell of a game on Sunday with Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey. He only had like 5 different guys catch a pass, I think I saw, which is a lot different from normal. That gives into the Raiders being so bad. But Quentin Johnston, I mean, he was hot in that game. Keep throwing him the ball. Ladd McConkey, if he's the certified number 1, if he plays like that next year, and Ladd McConkey's technically the number 2, I'm okay with that. Get your popcorn ready. Saturday, 4 o'clock, Chargers versus the Texans. Wild card matchup, first game of the playoffs. You know it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a close game, of course, because it's the Chargers in a primetime spot. But I am very happy, very thankful for the Steelers to playing so terribly against the Bengals that the Chargers just needed the win to get the 5th seed. They play the Texans instead of the Ravens. I think that makes a huge difference. Might come out with another video about the first round playoff matchups, but the keys for the Chargers in that game: shut down Joe Mixon, because as of right now, I think he's the most dangerous weapon on that team. And we've seen at points this year, Chargers defense giving up a lot of big runs, big plays to running backs. They cannot allow that to happen. Make tackles at the line of scrimmage and in the open field if he breaks through to that 2nd or 3rd level. Get pressure on C.J. Stroud and make him make bad decisions. He hasn't been playing all that well the past couple weeks. I don't know who's going to guard Nico Collins when they go man-to-man. Cam Hart or Tarheeb Still, or hell, even put Derwin on him. But if you shut down Nico Collins, don't allow Joe Mixon to make big runs, and make C.J. Stroud throw to these other lesser-known offensive players, because they don't have Stephon Diggs, don't have Tank Dell. I mean, Dalton Schultz shouldn't be too big of a problem, but make C.J. Stroud prove to all these idiots that thought he was better than Justin Herbert, even though he is nowhere near Herbert. Make him make plays, keep the pressure up on defense, win the turnover battle, and this game will be won by the Chargers. Thank you yet again for watching me spew my love. Ooze is a better word I like to use for my love for the Chargers. If you didn't hear, they're in the playoffs, playing on Saturday versus the Texans in the wild card game. Like, share, and subscribe. I mean...